And what's happening, folks? Welcome along to another episode of 420 News. And yes, guys, it is slightly earlier, but I can assure you I have a very good reason for doing so. It would have been this or wait until later on in the evening for a live session. I have to run off. I have a family errand in which to deal with today. So I hope you forgive me, guys, for this early one, but and it's going to be a quick one as well, guys. Just have the one update there for you. But I suppose as it is as a 420 news episode, we better get a bit of civil disobedience going there. And for all you guys at home as well, if you want to get involved, by all means, get going. We'll pack up a bowl here now. Sort out my camera. Who's out in the audience? Podge, what's happening? Billy Bonds, what's going on, guys? See some of the regulars out there anyway. Wonder will we get any new people come in because of the ungodly hour of the news today. Stoners out there still in bed, haven't even woke up yet. Jokes. I know you're all productive stoners out there finishing off your hard day's work. Some of you probably up since 6 o'clock. Those people that our buddy Leo is always on about, you know, those guys who get up early in the morning. Yeah, that's some of us, isn't it? I know it used to be me at one point in time. Used to be getting up at bloody 4 o'clock to go to work there at one point in time. And I was a cannabis consumer at that time too. Yes, little civil disobedience bowl packed up here anyway for today's show. Oh, so what is 420 news without little civil disobedience? I'm just looking at the comments flying in there, guys. Irish Hemp Harvest is out there as well. What's happening? Keith Griffin's in the audience. Darren Newcomb, what's happening as well? Sean M. Duggan, what's going on? Everybody is kind of confuddled here by the old, early start, but guys, rest assured, it's nothing to worry about. I just have to run off to an appointment later on for one of my kids, so apologies on that one. But Skatanist, yeah, Skatanist is spot on. It's always 420 anyway. Yeah, we're just 15 minutes late there for the past 420 news. Somewhere out there in the middle of the old Atlantic, it was 420. Or was it the other direction? Yeah, forgive me. Billy Bonds, strange sound effects. Oh, nice. Computer audio app, sure. Just making sure my audio was good there. Billy, give me frights there, Billy. Well, Martin, even though it's not 420, we're still blazing. Go on, John, you legend. Glad to hear. Peter Kelly's out there as well. And Monsieur Fudge, what's going on, Monsieur? Nice one, I'm indoors, so going to wrap a quickie. Yes, nice one. Hopefully you got it rolled up there already, and we can blaze up together there in a second, Monsieur. Green tea as well. What's happening, Green tea? Perfect excuse for a trim jailbreak. Nice. And congrats again, Green tea, on your recent win. Very lucky indeed, and great stuff there as well. Paying it forward, offering to help out Alicia. I hope Alicia gets back in touch with you there as well. It's great to see members of the community out there looking out for one another. Green Tea, who we interviewed in the past, guys, check out that interview if you haven't already done so. Really enjoyed chatting to Green Tea. Green Tea's a grower who provides for her partner, who needs cannabis in order to alleviate the symptoms of his serious, life-debilitating condition. So check out that interview. But Green Tea's even offered to look after Alicia for if and when she comes back to Ireland. You know, she had a rather unpleasant experience there recently. Alicia did, when she got caught with some nasty old cannabis back here in Ireland. Luckily, she got a half decent supply of cannabis. But I'm sure Green Tea will be able to get stuff on par there, or even far exceeding that of what's over in Spain, I'd say. Fair play, Green Tea. And I hope you don't mind me saying that, Green Tea, but I just have to mention, you know, I really do admire the support and compassion that's out there for one another within our little community here. And it's not even little. We're growing, guys, by the day. Pardon the pun. Daniel Crowley's out there as well. What's happening, Daniel? Yeah, early stream today. As I said, I'm not going to be available at 4:20, so we said we get it done earlier rather than later. Hey, what's happening? Daily Talker as well as in the audience, and R420 Supplies. Nice one. Glad I'm able to brighten up your afternoon there, R420. A bit early before you're locking up the doors. And Peter Kelly as well. Bodge Mustawa is Green Tea. Hope all is well. Guys, I love the support there is for one another in the community that there is building up around this show and also the high and homegrown as well as I am very well aware we share quite a few audience members. So right, enough chit chat there. Let's blaze one up here for the civil disobedience of today's show. Got me torch of freedom ready. Yum, yum, yum. Oh, it's so delicious. And so the first headline, or the only headline I have for you today, actually, guys, as I said, it will be a quick one. The Cannabis Activist Alliance, myself here at Martin's World, and Relief Cafe, who you're out protesting for before, and forgive the size of this. We're going to recreate Luke Ming Flanagan's a National Legalised Cannabis Day, which is the Friday, 5th of November. This happened 20 years ago, guys, on the 5th of November, 20 years ago. And now MEP Luke Ming Flanagan, he engaged in a campaign of civil disobedience. Do you know, he used that term himself, actually. If you want to watch a great documentary, check out The Life and Crimes of Citizen Ming, available on YouTube. But he used actually that terminology himself, you know, civil disobedience. I'm going to be a bit civilly disobedient, he says, you know, as he was rolling up his joint. And he rolled up enough joints to send off to all of the TDs and senators of Ireland, over 160 TDs here. And not too sure how many senators, I think there's over 30 of them or something like that. But he sent off a joint to all of them. So we're going to recreate that event on Friday, 5th of November. And we encourage you too at home, everybody out there, to get involved in this too. Not to send a joint to all of the TDs, but to send at least one to your locally elected representative, whether that be a councillor or a TD or a senator or even an MEP if you so wish. But by all means, roll up whatever herbal material you choose to. I would recommend, if you recently got caught with some poor quality cannabis, any stuff that you suspect is like sprayed or some shit like that, roll that stuff up and put that in an envelope and include with it the letter, which we're going to include up on the event page, and we'll make it public as well. It's not finished yet, but the letter will include the reason for the campaign, the reason behind the campaign, and also 10 reasons why cannabis prohibition needs to be ended in Ireland. So that's going to be available over on a Facebook event page, but it'll also be available up on Instagram, Twitter and other places then as well, once it's finished. But we encourage you then to send that joint off to your locally elected representative, and we hope then, you know, and among the people doing this, that will capture the attention of the national media, and shine a light yet again on the support that there is out there for ending cannabis prohibition in Ireland, because there is a massive, massive support, guys. And it's rather crazy, you know, if you just think about this. Like, I'm going to play a clip for you here in a few seconds that's from RT News, and it's going back from 20 years ago, from when Luke Ming Flanagan embarked on this campaign of civil disobedience. Now, Luke Ming Flanagan got elected and everything afterwards. He was like Lord Mayor of Roscommon, then he was a TD for a couple of years. Now, he kind of put the cannabis thing on the back bench, unfortunately. But like, he still supports it. He still gives an old tweet here and there and all of that around cannabis every now and again. And he is still a supporter of the campaign. He's just not as active on this as he once was. And it's a shame, you know, that 20 years later, here we are still engaging in campaigns of civil disobedience to end this prohibition. And we see the harm that's sort of befalling patients as well across Ireland, all because of this very same prohibition that Luke was trying to do all he could at the time to raise awareness as to why we should end it. So here's a little clip, guys, from RT from 20 years ago. So we're reeling in the years here on Martin's on 420 News.
TDs at Leinster House received what's thought to be cannabis in the post today as part of a publicity stunt calling for the legalisation of cannabis. A number of letters containing the substance were sent to the politicians at their Dáil offices and were discovered by officials checking the post following recent anthrax scares.
Since the anthrax scare began, workers at the post room at Leinster House have been on the alert for suspicious packages. So when one TD discovered the cannabis in a letter, the Gardaí were alerted and all the packages handed over. A number of letters were also sent here to RTE, to the newsroom and the radio centre. They were all part of a publicity stunt for National Legalised Cannabis Day and came from Luke Ming Flanagan, the well-known campaigner for the legalisation of the drug. The stunt comes in the wake of the announcement by the British government last week that it intends to ease the laws covering cannabis. Those found in possession of the drug would be more likely to be given a warning by the police or a court summons. The aim is to free the police to concentrate on harder drugs. There have been calls for a similar easing of the laws here. But opponents claim that cannabis is a gateway to drugs like cocaine and heroin.
Really, the fact that cannabis is criminalised
Losers.
is perhaps the only reason why it might be seen as a gateway to stronger drugs. People tend to smoke and drink together, but we don't say tobacco is a gateway drug for alcohol or vice versa.
Gardaí this afternoon arrested Luke Ming Flanagan for sending the cannabis in the post. He was trying to present a cannabis plant and a letter to Minister of State Owen Ryan. He was later released without charge and a file is being sent to the Director of Public Prosecutions. Eileen Whelan, RTE News.
I think that also means that we'll have to deliver a plant to our current minister with responsibility for the national drug strategy, and that is, you know who he is, our old buddy, old pal, Frankie Boy, yeah, Frankie Fian. So that's the current minister with responsibility for national drug strategy. So Luke Ming Flanagan, on the day he got arrested there, they talked about it, that he was bringing a plant to the then minister with that responsibility. I can't recall who they were even mentioning there. I was only kind of half listening. But they also mentioned there, interestingly, and in the life and crimes of Citizen Ming as well, it was also brought up that I believe it was the Justice Minister, one of the ministers anyway here in Ireland, they said that people were no longer going to be criminalised for simple possession of cannabis, which we all know very well right now in 2021 was a lie. They still criminalise people for minute amounts, like even sick patients there, shout out to Lee down in West Cork, who got caught with €4 worth of cannabis. Absolutely crazy. We know that was all a lie. All just playing to the kind of the support that was there for it, but never really doing anything on it. The public wanted this. They played kind of some reception to that and then never really acted upon it at all. There's also an article up there from the Irish Times, and that was published on the 6th of November in 2021. And it highlights the cannabis joints were mailed to every TD and senator in the state yesterday by a West of Ireland man leading a campaign for the legalisation of the drug. But it wasn't the drug, even that statement there alone, of the drug. It was the plant. It was the plant he was looking to legalise. The drug is in the plant. If you want to talk about drugs within the plant, then you can talk about maybe THC being a drug, CBD being a drug, and these different compounds when they're taken out and isolated, maybe put into a pill form, then you have a drug in your hand. You know what I mean? He wanted the legalisation of the plant. These media guys, they love to kind of be very derogatory in how they talk about the message there. Do you know how they relay the message of the campaign? Hence why we have Martin's World and the 420 News show on the 420 News blog. But go on to say that the idea landed Luke Ming Flanagan, 29 at the time, in Garda custody. However, last night a Garda spokesperson confirmed he had been released without charge and a file would go to the DPP. And as far as I know, he was there. He never had to go to prison for any of his campaigns of civil disobedience. For bringing the joints there to the TDs, bringing the plants to TDs. He never did. Why did we lose sight of this? Why did we stop pushing like this? What happened, Luke? Why did you get defanged? How did you lose? Why did you lose your roar? Because you had a loud roar going on at the time, man. You had a good campaign going. What happened? I know there was the Save the Bog and all of this stuff, but did the career really come before what got you into being a politician in the first place? I reached out to Luke a good couple of times. I would love to have had him on the podcast. Unfortunately, he's not returned. I've been on to his secretary. I've sent emails to him, and unfortunately, he's not gotten back to me. If anybody's got a contact out there or is a line of contact with him, give him a shout out. I'd love to have him on. I'd love to kind of hear that lion roar again from within him and talking about prohibition and, you know, all of these actions back there. I'm sure I'd be able to ignite the passion that was once there within him, and I'm sure it's in there, all right, like, you know. But sadly, you know, he did definitely, he got very passionate about his area, passionate about other issues, which is okay. I've no like real issue there, you know. It's just that I'm now carrying that torch, which he was once a carrier of. And I just wonder what happened, and to make sure it doesn't happen to me. It says here that he was outside the minister's office, the minister with responsibility for the National Drugs Policy, on Kildare Street when he was arrested by Gardaí acting on information. His letter to the members of Oireachtas, each containing a joint, listed 10 reasons why he believed cannabis should be legalised. It also made clear to the public representatives that cannabis was illegal and said it is advisable that you bring the enclosed joint to your local Garda station, otherwise you will be breaking the law. One of the first to do this, of course, was independent TD, Mr. Jackie Healy-Rae. There was no such evidence for journalists who received similar packages. I've enclosed the joint for you to enjoy on the day, was the message for them. So the journalists were advised to enjoy the joint, while the politicians were advised to bring it to the law. I would have done it the vice versa. The politicians should have enjoyed the joint, and the journalists should have went to the law about it, and see maybe how they got treated there and report upon that. But not all letters seem to have arrived at their destination. However, the Oireachtas Public Relations Office said that just 8 of Ming's letters had arrived at the Leinster House. They then handed over the letters to the Gardaí, a spokesperson confirming this. A spokesperson for the Taoiseach then, Mr. Bertie Ahern, disgraced Mr. Bertie Ahern, I should probably say. Even though not in the mainstream media, they still bloody praise this guy. But we won't go on there anyway. We'll leave politics aside for that. But he said he had not received one of the letters. Yeah, much like, you know, he didn't have a bank account as well. Bertie Ahern out the back and he hooting on the giant. I wonder, did he send him a good one, like, because the stuff that he sent him was grown down in the bog. Again, go check out Life and Crimes of Citizen Ming. Great watching there. Highly recommend having an old talk while watching it as well. But he grew a plant in the bog above there in the west of Ireland, above in the old county, Roscommon, or was he in Mayo? Roscommon, I believe it was. Maybe the bog was in Mayo. I don't know. There was something about Mayo there coming into my mind. But anyway, he grew it out in the bog, out in the west of Ireland. And the cannabis didn't look the greatest. Like, you know, it didn't look like it was like well-formed buds. It looked very leafy, stemmy and stuff, like, you know, but that's rightly what the politicians deserve, give them the stem and the seeds. Feckers who enforce prohibition, that's all they deserve. But he, the Mr. Flanagan said that he may have been Mr. Flanagan said this may have been because he sent some of the letters to TDs at their home or constituency office address. His local Fine Gael TD, Mr. Dennis Gnahan, confirmed he received ones. He said, I just smiled at it and said it's another of Luke's publicity stunts to highlight his campaign to legalise cannabis. So great, you know what I mean? At least like the likes of Mr. Dennis Gnahan there could see the kind of the light-hearted side of it. They went on to say that his only concern was that the bulky letters might have caused alarm among postal workers worried about the anthrax scares at the time. When released from Pear Street Garda Station shortly after 6 p.m, Ming said he was very happy with his day's work. He said he had been searched and found in possession of 2 to 3 pounds worth of grass. He made a statement, and it had been indicated to him that those who had received his mail would also be asked to make statements. Ming, who also a candidate in both the last general and European elections, has a number of convictions for cannabis possession and had 2 other cases pending before yesterday's incident. I'm not concerned about further prosecutions. It's like falling off a bike. Once you do it once, you're not scared anymore. And that's a quote there from Luke Ming Flanagan. So Luke, what's the crack? Will you send a joint to the TDs again? Like, is it like falling off a bike? Are you afraid to get back on your bike now again? Cannabis prohibition is still an issue out there that needs to be solved. So it would be great. Whoa. That's some crazy rain coming out there. I was wondering what the noise was coming through my mic, but it's actually the rain hitting off the window. But sorry, before I got distracted. Yeah, like Luke, I would throw it out there. Are you going to send another joint there to recreate the 20th anniversary? You only have to send one, Luke. and I'll fucking send it to you, boy, if you want. So yeah, that's coming up there, guys, on the 5th of November. So I don't know, what was it in the V movie? Was it the Remember the 4th of November or something, wasn't it? The V movie. Yeah, I was actually remember the 5th of November. Ah shit, it actually was the 5th of November. So we have to make use of that one. So fucking yeah, remember the 5th of November. Yes, guys, there we go. Oh shit, why didn't I gang onto that one earlier? That just came into my head there now. And I love that V for Vendetta movie. But yeah, remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and the gunpowder treason and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Yes, remember the 5th of November, guys. Let's do it. Let's recreate this. I hope people far and wide can get involved in this. And guys, if you don't want to waste any cannabis, by all means, guys, so just roll up some oregano, roll up a bit of thyme, bit of rosemary, whatever you need. Like literally, go out your garden, pick a few blades of grass, throw it in between a few skins and a roach, and personalize your letter and kind of be like, you know, I included grass because I once got ripped off and I was given cannabis that might as well have just been grass picked from the bloody garden. And I'm sure many of you out there can relate to a situation when you got crap off your dealer and you're like, I might as well have went out and picked grass out of my garden for, you know, compared to what I have in my bag, like, you know, because the stuff in my garden would be bloody better, you know, and it wouldn't have cost me anything. Thank God I don't have to be dealing with that and the dudes who've been kind enough to kind of sponsor me with my cannabis lately. You know, they've got their shit together. So yes, remember the 5th of November. Oh, thank God that rain stopped there. That was getting noisy there. Hopefully they weren't hearing that out on your side. Guy Fawkes is our friend. Yeah, I see some of you are actually mentioning it there actually earlier on in the comments. But fair play, guys. Yeah, I only just gammed onto it there as that just saying just came into my head. The 4th of November. Me and my movie quotes, fucking stoner. Oh, lovely. Yes, Billy Bonds, that's who was mentioning it there earlier. But Guy Fawkes is our friends. There you go, guys. Peter Kelly, congrats Green Tea, nice win. Yes, congrats Green Tea. Miss Dowes as well, don't forget to include some journalists too to allow them write all about it. Ming did that too. Exactly, guys, yeah, definitely. But let's recreate Ming's event as he did. If people out there have contacts with media, by all means, you know, use the letter we're going to have up there on the event page and share it across other social medias as well. Follow the Cannabis Activist Alliance as well, guys. They have pages now on Instagram and Facebook, I believe, and Twitter too. So give them a follow as well, and you'll find the letter up there as well very soon. So just like copy that letter if you want, or print it is what we would recommend. Personalize it to your own liking as well if you so wish, because I imagine people out there have their own stories to share as to how cannabis prohibition has affected them and why it should be ended. So yeah, definitely get out there and do that, guys. Other comments. It's a pity he's not as publicly active in his campaign. Yeah, I would agree there as well, Podge. Yeah. Others out there agreeing that it would be great to see some action there now, especially with Gino's bill coming up from the likes of Gino and Luke and other supporters out there of ending cannabis prohibition in Ireland. Other comments, Podge, if you ever have had diesel hash, it's unforgettable. There you go, guys. I'm sure many of you out there, if you're old enough, if you're the same age as me anyway, like, I'm not too old, am I? 32. But yeah, diesel hash, that was a big problem, and it wasn't until diesel hash came around, then it was replaced by weed, because you just couldn't go back to the hash anymore. You just couldn't trust it, and then cannabis just became everywhere. Before that though, like, the hash was everywhere and you couldn't even find any cannabis, at least in Cork that was the case. Green Tea, I love Luke Ming Flanagan. Hopefully his daughter joining the Sock Dems might mean some real change. Yeah, I actually have great admiration there as well for Luke and his campaign over the years, you know, and the other things he's campaigned behind. I've supported him. I've no hard feelings to the guy either. But just on that one issue on cannabis, it's just kind of feel a little left down, and I'm sure others would feel probably the same. Jason K, they asked the public agreed, then they just stopped asking. There you go, that's it, like, you know, it's just kind of like the Lisbon Treaty all over again, in a way. But yeah, we won't go there. Green tea, Bertie lit his joint with one of the 50 notes he never kept in the bank. That's it. It was all in his wife's money, wasn't it, or something? Oh, funny one. Paddy J, did I stand on a stray sod and end up in the 90s? What the F is going on? Others out there, yeah, Paddy agreeing on real showers down west, there you are. Man Falls as well, remember, the 5th of November of gunpowder, treason and plot. I have no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Yes, I love it, guys. Kelly Haley, what's going on? If you're rolling, make it count. Nice. Irish Hemp Harvest is out there. How can we go about getting addresses? All of the addresses are up there, guys, on the oireachtas.ie. I believe you can get addresses and contact details for all of the elected TDs. I believe the same is available for senators as well, and your local councillors too, guys. Again, media outlets, by all means, go look them up. The letter is there. It's open for everybody. If you're an activist out there, you're a part of our Cannabis Activist Alliance. That's what the mask is all about in V for Vendetta. You can kill a person, but you can't kill an idea. And that's kind of like, you know, it's very much representative as where we're coming now with Ming's thing, you know, except we're not wearing masks, you know. Ming is just replaced by Martin. Keith Griffin, I don't have that problem anymore, Martin. Find myself a good supply. Nice. Keith Griffin, if you got a good supply, but don't waste it. Roll up some oregano. Cheap and cheerful, boy. Or go out and pick some grass, just dry it out so you don't wreck your skins. Guys, I'm gonna have to run there shortly, but it's been an absolute pleasure to be here and to do the short and early 420 news with you, and to just bring about the upcoming campaign. Again, remember the 5th of November, the National Cannabis Legalization Day. We'll find a rhyme. We'll make it fit. There's some creative people out there, so make it happen, guys. Gonna pack up a final bowl here. Oh, my favorite thing about that V for Vendetta movie is gotta be the music. Anybody else like I love classical music, but just the epicness of it, like, it's just like, yes. Exhilarating stuff. Man Falls, I need this in Shrooms spot near Limerick, going picking soon. Podge has been well, we won't say where he's at, but Podge has been having a lot of luck. But Podge sent a message out there a while earlier on in the Discord that there's a cold front coming in, guys. So if you're going to go picking soon, because once this cold front comes in, it could bring with it a frost, and that's the end of the mushroom season then, sadly, for a while. Yeah, Podge says it was lucky in West Cork. Actually, he gives away his location. We had a great mixed balance of all and smokes. Nice, happy days. Once you're fudge, damn, I need to get back to work when you finish it. It's my only excuse to stop. Right, we're going to blaze this one up, read one or two more comments, and then we'll say goodbye. So let's blaze one up, guys. Remember the 5th of November. Here we go. And to throw it out there, guys, if there's any creative video editors out there, like if you have any good ideas as to how to like recreate like a V for Vendetta epic music, but cut in scenes of Citizen Ming and maybe some of the recent stuff that we've done here in Ireland with the major protest there above in Dublin, and some of the other protests there with the cannabis planting. If somebody's out there and you got some skills, by all means, guys, Martin's World Podcast at gmail.com. Get your submissions in there. I'm not the most creative, but I could see how you could definitely use a lot of the material that's up there at the moment already, and come up with some a good little video just to create more awareness around this campaign again. So just to throw it out there, guys, throw it out into the ether. Let's see what comes back at us. And for anybody wondering about the Cannabis Activist Alliance as well, guys, pop me a message, again, martinsworldpodcast@gmail.com, and I'll be able to get you details as to how you can get involved with the chat there. But we meet every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. The chats go on sometimes late into the evening, beyond 11 o'clock anyway. But we normally would have an agenda there, which we would get through in the first hour, and then we would kind of just talk about other issues then, and just support one another as well. So it's a great community there. So Tuesdays 9 p.m. If you'd like to get involved, martinsworldpodcast@gmail.com. Yes, Cannabis Reform Ireland. Nice one, Podge, getting the hashtag up there. Robert Gillespie out in the audience as well. Good work, Martin, from us at NISC. Nice one, Robert. Man Falls out there as well. Discord, yeah, nice one. Paddy J, no libs where I am. Unlucky Paddy. Yes, 5th of November, heart there as well. From Podge. Wear a mask, Martin. Nice one. Hype. Joints out for Frank, he says. Nice one, Hype. Legend is always getting into support there for the 420 news. Hype, you're an absolute legend. Thanks very much. Joints out for Frank. Yeah, guys, that's who I'll be aiming for. Frank Fian and Stephen Donnelly. Get as many joints as we can to them. Like, it doesn't even have to be joints, guys. You know, like, whatever form of cannabis, if you want to send a little piece in a baggie, we can get creative with this, you know. And as I say, like, I would definitely recommend not wasting any good cannabis on them. If you're gonna put some good cannabis into a joint, maybe send it to Luke Flanagan or possibly Gino. I don't know, but they make the most of it. But I'm gonna have to bounce, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here with you for the brief period that I had today. I'll be back on Wednesday. So until then, guys, stay safe, stay blazed, and keep our lid. Much love. Peace.